Hi everybody, and welcome to the next part in our crocodile stitch foam pouch, and hi from the Bobbits. So where did we get to? 2 rows of crocodiles now complete, just about. I'm just about to join it up again, and I thought I'd show you how we do that. So you should be left with 1 bar at the bottom after your crocodile before you join up. So what we need you to do is put your hook through underneath that chain 3 that you made in the very start and push it under the bars, the 2 bars that are left. There. Grab your yarn and just pull it through everything and just do a little chain to secure it, and then turn around and admire your handiwork. There we go, that's what we've got. So I'm just going to pull my hook out so you can see. I'll get my phone. Oh, cheeky bobbits. Push them out the way. Don't want them up to no good. I've got an iPhone. I think most phones are of a similar size now, and it has a bit of stretchability, this pattern. So providing your foundation row's not tight enough to hold a dog to a railing, then you should be alright. There we go. So, okay, it's got a little skirt on. So now we're going to change colour. You don't have to, of course you don't. You can use colour changing wool, that would be awesome. I love colour changing wool, you never really know what you're going to get. And crocodile stitch is a really good stitch to use, colour changing wool. Especially if it's got quite a long change in it. What I mean by that is that the colour on the yarn, you know, might be, I don't know, 30-60 centimetres long before it starts changing colour, or even longer sometimes, because you've got that foundation row, that frame row. You use some of that colour on that, so you get a better change. Or you can use oddments up. You can knot them all together. I know the purists amongst you hate the word knots in any sort of project, but you know, I do craft because I enjoy it. I'm not a purist by any means. I like it to look good, but I'm not bothered if there's an odd knot. And I do hide them when I'm sewing in. So for me, if I'm happy with it, and I tend to make things to donate. Making baby clothes is a different ball game, but little things like this, if it's got a knot, do you know, it doesn't really matter, does it? So let's hop onto a colour change, so you can see how to do that. So I'll say bye to the phone for now. Pick my hook up. So I've got white. I think it might be easy for you to see. I'm just trying to pick colours that'll be easier for you to see. So we're going to work on the next frame row in exactly the same way. You can rewind, that's an old term, isn't it? Do you actually rewind these days? But you can go back on the video and see how to do the frame row. We're just going to do the colour change and a little bit in this video. So with the new colour, you just want to grab it and pull it through like that. And with the bluey green, I don't know what colour you'd call it, I like to use Stylecraft Special DK, it's my favourite. I very rarely work a project in anything other than that if I can help it. They've got some amazing colours. I'm not quite sure what this one's called, but if you asked me a question, then I can probably find out. So I've cut the bluey green yarn and now I've got the white on my hook. Now you can knot that if you want. You can hold it to one side, keep the tension on it, and I think for this project, because the phone's going to be coming possibly in and out, in and out, in and out, we will do a knot, and then we're pretty much assured that it's not going to unravel, which would be awful after the time you've taken to learn. So I'm knotting it and I'm going to sew it in as well. Let's have a double whammy. So I'm just tuck that inside for now, and just let's forget about those ends. So new colour, let's do 3 chain. Forget about the joining chain. Like I said, I'm not a purist. This is crafting for fun. This is not crafting to win a Nobel Peace Prize. So let's do 3 chain, 2, 3, and in the frame below, the one that has not got a crocodile scale in, we're going to do the other treble that partners that one. Ooh, doesn't want to go in. There we go. It looks like one's higher than the other, but in the next row, you've guessed it, we'll be doing a crocodile over there, so you won't see it. So who needs to be? Who needs perfection in this world? So chain 3 and 2 trebles in there. Chain 3 and 2 trebles in that V in between the crocodile scales of the row we've just done. Chain 3, do our next crocodile, so we're going in the eye this time. Oops, caught the green there. 2, 3. You can do this stitch obviously in any yarn weight, wool weight that you want, double knitting, Aran, chunky. It is a wool eater, mind, so really be careful if you're making a big project, because obviously you've got 2 rows that actually builds one, so it is going to take a lot of wool to complete a project. I made some mermaid tails to fundraise for a project we did last year. I made 22 mermaid tails in the end. Some adult size ones, all in, well, not all in crocodile stitch, but the majority were in crocodile stitch. It was by far the best effect. But the amount of yarn used for each project was enormous, let alone the weight. But they were fairly spectacular, I have to say. So we're just coming round. This one's in between. It's great if you had a basket with all your ends in that you wanted to use, you wanted to make a blanket, you wanted to make it fairly random, then that's a good one to use it up. It will be heavy afterwards, but I guess if you're making a blanket, then heavy and warm's what you want. So we're back round, and I've done 3 chains to finish. Must remember that 3 chain to finish, and we're going to join it to the top of the 3 that we made to start with. Let's give it a good poke in. There we go. So now we're going to start the scales, and this one sits in between the other ones, which is exactly what we want. So as always, 3 chain, and we're going to work under this stitch to make half of the scale. So yarn over, in there, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the only thing that it's the only time we do 4 is at the start, remember, because this one pretends to be a treble, and if you look at it close enough, it works for me. 1 chain, and we're going to work in the other half. So yarn over and poke it under there. You can turn it round, it makes it easier. And this time 5 on this side, because we don't have anything that's pretending to be anything. So we've got to make 5 to balance that crocodile scale out. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that's 5. I'm going to work round just so you can see what the finished look is when with the other colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 chain in its opposite number. 1, 2. Ooh. Trying to be too clever now, let's take that one out. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Miss one into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, under the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Miss one and into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'm actually rubbish at picking colours. It's one of the things I wish I was better at. I see other people's amazing colour combinations and I think, oh, I would never have put those two colours together, but they look amazing. So what I tend to do is, looking at just random pictures anywhere, I'll screenshot them, and if I'm making something, I'll refer back to those pictures and see what works well together. So I'd love to see what colour combinations you've come up with, as opposed to my very plain it safe mint, green and white. I suppose I'm going for an ice cream look. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And I think we are there. So we've got crocodile to this side, crocodile to that side, and nothing in the middle. So yeah, we're going to join it up so you can quite happily see that poking up there. You see, and that's the starting chain from the very first one we made, the pretend treble, and the 4. That's the three chain that pretends to be a treble. So I'm putting my hook under there and in between the 2 bars that are left on the row that we've just been working on. There we go. It was a bit of a tweak that I made from the original pattern. I didn't really like the way it sat, so I just did that extra tweak, and it works. It makes it sit nicely, and it's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. So there we are. Look at that. So it's coming on really nicely. So just continue with those rows, the frame row, the crocodile row, until your work is as tall as your phone. I've got a little bit to go. So what I'll do is I'll carry on working and hope that you do too, and then we'll finish off together and work the little tab. It's one way to make a closure. Put a little tab over the top just to secure your phone, stop it slipping out. And I suppose there's lots of other ways. You'll be ingenious. I know that you will, in different ways of closing it. The stitch kind of lends itself to something being weaved in and out, I guess, to make a proper pouch. And if you use this stitch to make bags, then I suppose these holes you could weave cord through, or crochet chains, or plaited laces, whatever. Let your imagination be your guide, and that could make a really nice drawstring bag. But for this project, we're going to make a little tab that pops over the top, and that we'll attach a button to. So keep going, work until the top of your project is there or thereabouts the top of your phone. It'll stretch, so if you're a little bit short, it's up to you whether to decide to make it a little bit bigger or have it a little bit smaller. If you make it a bit smaller, there is a way that you can make it a little bit higher. We can have a look at that in the next video. But I'll see you when I've got to the top, and we'll finish it off together. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.